morning, everybody. Welcome back to Jake and Justin in the Morning. Haven't done this in a while. We've been busy trying to get the firing squad pod off the ground and some other stuff. We are back. So, no guests today, just Justin and I. Justin, how are you today?
Mix of emotions, because if you've been keeping track with anything in the world, a lot of stuff has changed in the world of media, and very happy news, but also very sad news. So I guess I might as well do something good than something bad.
Okay.
So something good, GTA 6. Rockstar Games tweeted out saying that they're showing a trailer for it in early December, which is very soon. That's in 3 weeks. So everybody loved GTA 5. GTA 6 is supposed to be a big game, and they've been working on it since GTA 5 came out, which is what, 10 years ago now at this rate?
Yeah.
So that's very good. Something bad, the video chat site Omegle is down for good. I guess, I don't know, a lot of great times on that, 'cause it's basically a way where you could like talk with strangers and maybe learn that maybe the world isn't a bunch of nut jobs. Something bad for everyone that knows me, or at least have watched this podcast. I love esports.
Mm-hmm.
The Overwatch League is officially dead.
Oh,
It's
no.
gone. It's gone. So basically, if you guys haven't been keeping up, Overwatch League since COVID has been going downhill because they promised all of these homestands. A lot of people bought into it, and it would have worked if COVID didn't hit. And what happened was teams were not making any money. Players were asking for more money. And so Blizzard, the company who owns Overwatch, they basically said, okay, we just need to blow it up and start fresh. So if you want to leave, we will give you a $16 million exit fee.
Wow. $16 million.
$16 million to leave. They gave him $16 million to leave, as in the company paid them. Wow. So all 20 teams officially gone.
Wow.
No players got a job.
So every single player that was on the team, they are all basically unemployed now.
Oh yeah, they're unemployed. So
Wow.
no one. So apparently they have an idea of the direction about where they're gonna go, but me personally, I have no idea what's gonna happen when it comes to this stuff. I'm not sure if these people who are in the league even want to come back at this point. I'm not sure if esports as a whole will grow from this, because let's face it, I mean, it's good and all, but some of these athletes are the biggest wusses on planet Earth. They cannot hold an L for their life. I'm not even kidding. They'll go 3 years, not win once, and they'll retire. It's like Allen Iverson went 15. John Stockton went probably 17 without retiring, and he didn't win a single ring.
Matthew Stafford was on the Lions for like 10, 12 years.
Yeah, and then he didn't win, but now he did, so that's fine. But look, I hope they bounce back. I hope better things come. People said there was an issue with them franchising, like naming teams to represent cities. Like any other sports league, I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean that's why it worked.
Absolutely.
That's why it works for every other professional sport. And you call the team the New York Excelsior, and everyone from New York is now jumping on it.
Yeah.
Every fan from New York, you call the Vegas Eternal. Everyone from Vegas is jumping on that. I thought it was a smart idea. Everyone else thought it was stupid. So, maybe I'm the idiot, or maybe I'm the only smart one. But
I think I'm gonna go with the second thing you said.
But anyway, so we have a great show for you today. I am in a lot of pain because of the Overwatch League, so I know there was a Thursday night football game that is going to cause me just as much, if not even more, anguish than what I'm dealing with right now.
I was trying to convince him to talk about this game before he went live. He was like, I'm not talking about this game yet. That was a very bad game last night between the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. Bears win 16-13. I mean, is there any more to say about this? It was Tyson Bagent against Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, I get it. He's a rookie and they're rebuilding, but he has not been that good.
No, he has not looked good.
He has not looked good at all. He needs to The problem is though, like he has solid pieces on that offensive end that he can use.
He's got a baseline that obviously needs to still continue to build up, but
He
there's a
needs some
couple of
more,
guys.
but like Sanders is fine. Chuba Hubbard is fine. Alan Thielen is still pretty good. Even DJ Shark is not that bad either.
Mhm.
So at some point you gotta, I don't know, complete the passes.
Yeah, I feel like there's something wrong with that team. Like I didn't think they'd be that good this year. I thought they'd be like they might only win 5 or 6 games. Maybe they grab a 7 or 8 because their division's so bad. But like I didn't think they'd be this bad. Like I like what they did in the offseason. I did think the pick was Stroud. Not obviously looking back now, but even at the draft, I didn't think the pick was Stroud. I just thought
It was going to be one of those two.
Right.
There was no debate. Every now and then, Richardson would rear its head, would pop its head up, and it'd be like, oh, maybe he should go number one. But mainly it was between Stroud or Bryce Young. I agree with you. I think Stroud should be it. And Stroud has been playing phenomenal.
He's been outstanding. He's got a little better setup over there in Houston, but still, like that team is still really, really young, and he's an MVP candidate.
He is an MVP
right now,
candidate, and on top of that, I mean, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of teams out there who get a rookie quarterback and on their rookie season say this is our franchise
Absolutely.
guy. I mean, even Joe Burrow, because he got hurt.
Yeah.
They didn't. He didn't look like
it wasn't
he didn't make a great
his
case.
second year is when you really realize, okay, this guy's something
Same thing
special.
with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence didn't have a phenomenal year either. And then the second year, people really saw it and said, okay.
Even Josh Allen.
Oh, even Josh Allen. But yeah, even Josh Allen. For a big name too. Mahomes, even bigger.
His first year didn't really play much because he was kind of like redshirting ish. They still had Alex Smith, and then his second year, obviously, he took over, and we saw, okay, this guy is absolutely incredible. But yeah, he's very rarely you see a guy his first year in the league, he goes out and just balls out like Stroud has. So, part of me thinks the organization is just really pissed off that they draft. I think it's already official. They drafted the wrong quarterback. I'm not saying Bryce Young is a complete bust already. It's too early to me, but at the end of the day, I do think they made a mistake. And, they threw a lot of money at Miles Sanders, who hasn't played that well, which is odd because he was very productive in Philly. He was great last year.
He was one of the most integral parts of that Philly
Absolutely.
team.
Eagles might have had the number one rushing attack last year, and he was their top back. You think he had over 1,200 yards. They bring in that. They gave up DJ Moore and probably the first pick in this year's draft for Bryce, and it just hasn't worked out. And I'm sure that's very frustrating.
They shot themselves in the foot completely in a way that's where they're supposed to build. And that's the real issue. Like you draft Bryce, but you don't have that. But you don't have that number one overall pick anymore that you probably could have gotten if you didn't trade it away.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Obviously they had the 9th pick, and you move up 8 spots, so you give up more. Obviously you give up 9th pick, your second rounder last year. You gave up what's probably gonna be the first pick this year. Won't be lower than probably 3 or 4.
Yep.
And then a second, I think an extra second rounder as well for Bryce Young. And if in a year or two Bryce Young breaks out, okay, then people will probably stop talking about it and they'll probably worry about it. To this point,
I'm not sure if they have another first round pick at all, the Panthers this year.
This year they did not. I don't think so.
Yeah,
no.
So maybe they're gonna have to see what they can get in the second round. Maybe you draft a receiver at this point, but I feel like they overbanked on Bryce Young. And to be honest with you, I didn't love what I saw out of Bryce Young in Alabama. I didn't.
It's tough with these Alabama quarterbacks because they have so much talent. Like every year, Alabama has 4 or 5 guys that go in the first round. So like they have like if you put that team like in the NFL, that team actually isn't that bad. And then you throw them on this crappy team, they get drafted so high. It's just a big adjustment. Some guys are able to adjust and some guys aren't.
Yeah, I mean, but so far a lot of the younger Alabama quarterbacks have not been able to adjust.
Not really, no.
Mac Jones, Tua, wasn't Justin Fields at
he started at.
No, it was Jalen Hurts who started.
Yeah, Hurts. It was Hurts. Yeah.
Then Jalen Hurts is the best.
Fields, I think, started at Georgia, then he transferred to Ohio State.
I thought it was Oklahoma, but okay.
No. Yeah. Jalen Hurts started at Alabama. He transferred to Oklahoma. Just Justin Fields, he started at Georgia, and he transferred to
Ohio State.
Ohio State, yeah.
Okay, so But still, you kind of see the pattern.
Yeah.
Like Hurts has been the best one so far out of all of them, but
Even he really made a name for himself at Oklahoma. I mean, he got benched for 2 of them national championship.
he did. He did, and Tua hasn't looked that good. Like Tua, like
it's more so the
like,
offense for sure he's in.
yeah, okay. People are saying, "Oh, well, look at their record. Look at their record." I mean, if all I had to do was throw 2-yard dump offs to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I'd be the best quarterback in the NFL history.
Yeah, like I don't think he's that great to be honest. He's just in a really, really talented offense. They're so fast too. Like obviously you have 2 guys in Hill and Waddle who not only can beat you over the top deep, where like even if you double cover them, if Hill and Waddle are faster than the guys that are on, it doesn't matter.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if you throw a quick slant to them, they can still outrun everybody. So it's it's like even if Tua might be throwing a 50 or 60-yard touchdown pass, he might only be throwing it 5 yards, and then Hill's taking it the rest of the way.
Yeah, but back to Bryce. I don't know if we're gonna feel him yet. Let's give him more time.
Right.
I think. I don't know, like 2 years from now, we could be saying he's a bust, or 2 years from now, we could be saying he's a good pick. But right now, he's not looking like the dude. He's definitely not winning Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely
I think
not.
it goes to Stroud by a long shot. The man broke 2 records this year. He broke 2 records this season: most consecutive passes without a pick.
Oh wow!
And most passing yards by a rookie in a game.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Andrew Luck's.
Yeah, I think he tied the record for passing touchdowns in the game in that same game.
I think he did. Yeah,
he tied it, but yeah, he broke the record for the yard. And it's right. I remember in the beginning of the year, he had the most consecutive games without a pick just to start
consecutive
his career.
pass attempts without a pick.
Wow, yeah, he's been absolutely phenomenal in Houston. Houston's been a lot better than I expected.
Houston has been a lot better. Houston's a little bit weird because are they good? Not really. No. But it's weird because they're a team that I feel can sneak up on you at any time.
Absolutely.
Like if your secondary isn't on point, you're gonna get burnt by.
Absolutely.
You're gonna get burnt by Tank Dell. You're gonna get burnt by Nico Collins. You're gonna get burnt by Dalton Schultz. And on top of that, the one thing that I loved, I know you didn't get to see the game, but I did at the end of the game. That was a very late fourth quarter comeback. That was like
Wasn't
a final minute.
40 seconds.
It was
or something?
40 seconds, and for a rookie to go down the length of the field in 40 seconds,
that's crazy.
Is very impressive to show, because that shows that he could be a good game manager, a good clock manager, and that's a lot of things to where some quarterbacks who are in their 5th, 6th year in the league don't even have that ability. Yeah. So the fact that he has that level of talent, I actually think it sets him above some of these other quarterbacks. Dare I say, puts him at top 7.
I think that's fair. I mean, right now, is there 7 quarterbacks better than Strauss, especially with all the injuries to the quarterbacks? I don't know if there is.
Well, let's talk about it. So, Mahomes is the best. Burrow, Hurts. I may be throwing Josh Allen. Trevor Lawrence. And then at that point, probably Herbert.
Yeah.
And then Stroud.
Probably Stroud.
That's probably Stroud.
Because obviously Aaron Rodgers hasn't played this year.
No, Aaron Rodgers hasn't played. Tua's not that good when you look in the big picture. Lamar's not that great when you put him in the picture.
I would put Stroud over Lamar right now for sure.
Yep. So I think he's. And once again, that's something you can't say about every rookie that they're up there with some of the best. So good for him. I will hope to see him get his NFL award this season.
Yeah, he definitely went off the Rookie of the Year. And going back to Houston, like, you're right. Like, you look at their team, they're not that. You look at this team, like, oh, this team isn't good. But they're what, 4-4 or something?
They're 4-4. Now, they're in a bad division, but still.
Yeah, if stuff isn't great, it's Jacksonville that had a large drop off. But, like, statistically, they could make the playoffs. I mean, you look at this roster, it's like, how the hell? I even know there are some people who had them winning 4 games the whole year. They already have 4 wins. We're halfway through.
Yep. Also, one quick thing. I know people are talking about Dan Campbell for Coach of the Year. Watch out for DeMeco Ryans.
Absolutely. If he makes the playoffs, I think you have to give it to him.
I think you have to give it to DeMeco Ryans.
I don't even think it's that close.
Not at all.
He's been. I love the hire when it happened, and he's proving us why, because he's done a very good job.
He has done a phenomenal job. All right, so what is next on the docket?
All right, so we can go talk some basketball now.
Yeah.
So Justin, as he looks at his screen very intensely.
Brother, I'm not giving you Zay Flowers for Juju and Gus. Sorry,
Did Mike send you a
He
trade?
did.
Yeah, this is a guy in our fantasy league. He's friends of Ashton, who, of course, all you know. He's sends some very lopsided trades. Lopsided in his favor. He's been trying to get Zay Flowers from Justin for basically the entire season, and has not exactly given Justin a lot of good offers.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, look, I'm playing hard to get at this point because he told me that his he went to college with Zay Flowers.
Oh.
So because he went to, I guess, Boston College.
Okay.
And I guess and that's why he wants him on the team. And I'm like, ooh, but I'm gonna need a first, buddy.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. By the way, can we just shout out my fantasy football team?
We can.
For being the ultimate dark horse.
Yeah.
35 picks. And
you have 35
I
picks?
don't. I have 29 still.
All right.
But I only used 3 picks, and I was managed to build a team that's now 4-5 when I was supposed to not win a single game this year. I was projected to do the punishment by a long shot. And the punishment still has not been determined yet because we go everywhere with the punishment.
At first it was like painting your...
It's painting your nails. If you don't, you paint your either fingernails or toenails.
Mm-hmm.
Then we decided to do the Waffle House challenge to where you basically stay in a Waffle House for either 24 hours or you eat every waffle you eat, you lose an hour.
Right.
So you have to basically like 12 waffles essentially. Yeah. And then another one we had an idea of is doing a 5-minute comedy set.
That'll actually be pretty funny.
That would be funny for the punishment. But the problem is, like, you go to a comedy club, the fans are brutal at comedy clubs. Like, if you suck, they're going to let you know about it. And the 5 minutes will feel like 50 in 2 seconds. So we're not sure what we're going to do there yet. But the punishment I'm going to do, just so I can piss off whoever's watching this, aka my mom, the punishment's going to be me getting a tattoo.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the fantasy punishment is going to be I will get a tattoo of I don't know, I'll get a tattoo of like Robert Sala's face or something.
If I come back to our dorm,
I get inked up. I'm not doing the punishment. That's the fact.
If I come back to the ridge where we live here at Sacred Heart, and you start going like this, and I see freaking Robert Sala's face. Oh my god! But you're not gonna finish in last.
I'm not finishing in last.
If anything, I might finish in last. My team is not very good this year.
You're gonna beat me though because all of my great players are on a bye.
Yeah, it's a tough week this week.
Week this week. I got Mostert out. I got Pacheco out. Well, not Pacheco. Yeah, I got Pacheco out. I have
I should win this
Puka
week.
Out. So it's
Puka's
over.
tough.
Puka's tough, but that's okay because somehow, if CJ Stroud just does what he did last week, I'm gonna win.
And if Lamar does what he did last week, you're definitely gonna win.
I'm definitely gonna win.
Lamar's about to make me lose my mind.
All right, so let's ball out. We're balling out.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
All right, so let's start. So the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, came in very highly touted. They pick up Damian Lillard, put them in the driver's seat to possibly win a championship. And hasn't gone quite as planned. Giannis actually last night had 54 points when they lost to the Indiana Pacers. So, are they overrated? Do you think it's just a slow start?
Do you smell something, Jake?
I don't know. Do I?
I smell the nostalgic aroma of the 2019 Brooklyn Nets.
Really?
It's one of those things to where so this is going to be a really weird story.
Okay.
So, first time I took my driver's test, I failed.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to driving school. It's not that I failed badly. I'm like, you know what? I need another course. I took a guy named Manny, and this guy Manny was a Nets fan, and it was during the summer, when the whole announcement came out that Kevin Durant and it was after Katie and Kyrie went to Brooklyn on free agency. And after a while, it was during the year, and I say that, they're not looking too good. They're not playing like so phenomenal to where I could say, "Oh yeah, this is going to work out pretty well." And he said to me constantly, I had like 3 or 4 classes this guy, and he said to me every time, "Just wait for them to gel. Just wait for them to gel." And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And all of a sudden in 2021, they start to gel a little bit until they don't. And then it falls apart in the biggest crash and burn, and all of a sudden, no one wants to be there, and they're stuck, and they're stuck with the bottom of the barrel, who albeit is doing well now, the Nets, but from where they started and from what they were supposed to be, it's a fall from grace. Those are literally the words I was about to say. So this is what it feels like. It's like you have a starting lineup that a lot of people would kill to have.
Absolutely.
You have, like, okay, maybe that shooting guard position is looking a little iffy, but you have, okay, so your starting lineup is going to be, it's Giannis, Brook Lopez at your front court, and then you have Dame and Chris Middleton. That's a great starting four.
Oh yeah.
Anyone would want to have that starting four, but the problem is that I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna chef up here. 3 years from now, this team is going to be like the Nets. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this team will make the playoffs. This team will fall apart in the playoffs. This team will not look good at all. And what's going to happen is Dame's going to want out, Giannis is going to want out, and Middleton's going to want out. And then all of a sudden, all they're left with is Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis, and it's gonna reek of 2018 Lakers.
That's right, Brook Lopez is on my team. Yeah, it's very early. But, like, it's not like all of them are underperforming and, like, guys now. I mean, they didn't have Damian Lillard in the Indiana game, but still, Indiana, they're not anything super scary.
They're getting better, though.
They're definitely getting better. You know, they bring in Obi Toppin. You know, they're pretty good. I think they'll be at least a playing team. But Milwaukee should definitely beat them, you know, and they don't. And when Giannis puts up 54 against Indiana, the game shouldn't be close. Even if Dame's not there. Maybe without Dame, maybe it's at least somewhat close, but this should not have lost when Giannis put up a 50-point game, 54 and like 12 rebounds, whatever he had, and they lose. You know, maybe. I mean, I like the fit on paper because they really needed a knockdown shooter. I thought because outside of Giannis, there was no one was really scaring me before they brought in Dame. Even Chris Middleton, he's a little inconsistent. He's hurt a lot. Even Jrue Holiday, who I love, he can score and is a very good shooter. He was really there to facilitate and defend. He's, wasn't scaring me with the ball. And now you get a guy in Dame who actually is a threat. You lose Jrue Holiday, but obviously you still have Chris Middleton, and then you got guys on the bench like Bobby Portis, you have Pat Connaughton, a couple of role players, obviously Brook Lopez there for his defense down low. So I thought by those standards it could work, but so far it really hasn't. I mean, Dame's kind of also been in that lineup a little bit, which is another concern I had about Dame.
Which is why it reeks at 2019 Nets.
Exactly. That's a good point.
Or even more, 2021 Nets. Didn't that big three play like only 12 games with each other?
Something like that.
Like all of them were on the court in total for 12 games.
Yeah.
Like that's probably how this is going to end up being. I don't know. Sometimes change of scenery doesn't work for everybody. And I'm not saying it's over for Damian Lillard, but I'm going to have to say this. At some point, you really need to start looking at Giannis. You need to start looking at Dame. You have a new coach. Who are you going to blame? Mike Budenholzer? Can't blame him anymore.
Nope.
Maybe Budenholzer was the guy after all. Maybe they jumped the gun on that.
Yeah.
I still can't believe Budenholzer doesn't have a job.
Yeah, I'm shocked. There was a lot of opening. I'm shocked no one gave him a shot.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I didn't understand either.
I'm at a loss for words.
Unless I know he had some family stuff that he was dealing with, so I'm not sure if he purposely didn't like he wanted to take the year off or something. But if he wanted a job, he should have had one.
He should have had one, and he deserves one.
Yeah, I don't think he's a phenomenal coach, but he's a good NBA head coach. He's won a championship pretty recently.
He has.
He at least deserves to be a head coach in this league somewhere. If he wants a job, he should definitely have one.
Yeah, look, if Doc Rivers could last 16 years in the
Exactly.
NBA without getting fired, I think Mike Budenholzer, without being a man without a team, Mike Budenholzer, I'm sure could fit that role as well.
He deserves a job. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so like also like the issue with the Bucks these past year, the reason they haven't advanced as far in the playoffs consistently is because when Giannis, Middleton, and Drew were together, they were unstoppable. But the problem was Middleton was always hurt. Drew once in a while would be an MLR. Even Giannis once in a blue moon happened in the playoffs. That cost him that first round series to an extent against Miami. He also didn't play very well.
It did. I'm gonna. Let me just.
I'll let you talk as the Heat fan.
Let me stop you right there. Whoever says that the reason why they lost is because they didn't have Giannis is full of shit. You want to know how I know that? Because I watched that entire series.
Exactly.
And the one game they won was without Giannis.
Yeah. They won one game without him. He was there for 3 to 5 games.
Yeah, they lost the 4 without him.
Yeah.
They lost the 4 with him.
Yeah.
They won 1 without him. Suck it, Giannis.
Yeah, like when those three were together, Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis, they were unstoppable. Like because like when one of them went down, they looked like a completely different team, and it almost seems like the Dame trade, which was supposed to fix that, hasn't, because when Dame didn't play last night, Giannis put up 54 and they still lost, and even Middleton, I don't have the numbers in front. I don't think Middleton had a bad game either, and they still lost to an Indiana is not a bad team by any means. They're pretty good. I think they'll be a playing team at least.
Better. They're a young team.
Yeah, but like still an inferior opponent that they lost to. So maybe, although they get themselves a knockdown shooter, and that's scary putting Dame next to Giannis. But if it didn't fix the issue was when you have these 3 great players together, who when are on the floor together, no one can beat them. But even when one is out, they're a completely different basketball team. If that issue still isn't fixed, well, you might as well at that point just stood pat and kept Drew Holiday and kept whoever else they gave up and kept your draft picks. So if it didn't fix that issue, you probably shouldn't have made the move. But still early, but it's not a good sign that And Dame really hasn't been that great. Besides the one big game,
he had like
he's
6
struggled.
points one game.
Yeah, he has struggled. I'm not sure. Yes, I want to give him some time to gel, but Dame's been in this league long enough.
Got to shoot the basketball.
Exactly. He's there to come in and shoot the basketball. Be that outside shooting threat. Be that 1A, 1B to Giannis that they've been missing. And deliver at least another championship to Milwaukee, because if they don't, Giannis might say, "See you later."
All right, good. Say that. Go ahead. Go ahead, Giannis. Be a baby about it. Just like the Phoenix Suns, who I want to talk about next.
Oh, good God. What is going on in
The
Phoenix?
walking medical tent. This team sucks.
They're not that good.
This team is
They're not good. They're not good.
Blow up this team. Really, blow it up. This team's supposed to be phenomenal.
Supposed to be.
This team's supposed to be just have the best offense in the NBA, but the problem is 99% of their lineups can't stay healthy. They can't stay on the court.
And the problem is they don't have the depth to
No, they don't. I'm not afraid of Grayson Allen coming off the bench.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of a 33-year-old Eric Gordon.
Yeah,
he sucks. He absolutely sucks. I'm not sure if you have anything to say about them, but I need to talk about the Heat next.
Okay.
So, for the Heat, I'm wearing my Big Face Coffee shirt today because that is Jimmy Butler's coffee company.
Mm.
And of course, this is the time where I would, of course, shit on a Heat player. I would shit on Eric Spoelstra. I would shit on Pat Riley. I would shit on the owner, Mickey Arison. But no, today's not that day.
Okay.
Today's not that day.
Okay.
Today, I want to give praise to Bam Adebayo.
Wow, I did not think you'd ever say that.
That is a rare thing. Bam has been playing very, very
He's
well.
been playing very well.
He has stepped up his offensive game. I don't know what he's been doing over the offseason, but he's been working. He's stepped up. He stepped in the offseason. The mid-range is looking fantastic. I'm not going to expect him to be a knockdown shooter from 3, but to have that in his bag eventually would be helpful. But he's been doing really well on the glass, off the glass. Great defensively. He's finally backing up what he's been saying to where he can guard 1 through 5, because I've seen it. He has guarded 1 through 5 very well. And if he continues this, I think he makes an all-star this year.
Yeah.
I do. I think he can win Defensive Player of the Year this year. I'm not even kidding.
I think he could.
He's been playing really
He's been
well.
He's been second team all defense the last 2 years.
He was second team all defense. I think this is the year where he could be at least first team all defense. And look, I'm happy to see it because I've been talking shit about him for so long. Even Tyler Hero also has been stepping up, who I've been really...
Unfortunately, he's hurt for a couple weeks.
Well, he's hurt. He's out for a couple of weeks. I don't think as long as Cam Thomas, but...
No, they said he's being reevaluated in 2 weeks.
Okay, so out for 2 weeks. Okay, whatever. Okay, but either way, he's been playing very, very well. Really backing up why they shouldn't trade him.
But he has played really well
to his credit. Maybe this is the future here, maybe not. But outside of that, I have no idea. But I'm just waiting for the Heat to disappoint me tomorrow when they play against some team that I forgot who they're playing against. But I have a feeling they're going to be playing against something absolutely horrible. Let me take a look.
But yeah, Tyler Hero, he has played really well so far.
Yep. Who are they playing? Oh, God, they're playing the Hawks.
And Atlanta's not that good. They're as mid as it gets.
We're playing the Hawks.
I don't think they lose to the Hawks.
Lose to the Hawks.
Hero's a pretty big loss. I think they can win that game.
We're losing to the Hawks.
Are you, though?
Yes. We almost lost to the Pistons. We're losing to the Hawks.
That's true, and they did lose to the Nets. But the Nets have played very well. Cam Thomas, when he was healthy, was averaging almost 27
maybe I'll
game.
give them a pass on almost losing to the Pistons because that was the first game of the season.
Yeah.
So I'll give them a pass on that, but still. All right, so here's someone I want to talk about to end it off because while we were going, because, we've been doing a lot, but something big that happened is, and I'll tell the story that Jake liked on my Twitter. So every Tuesday, I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I went to bed at midnight. All of a sudden, at 2, my phone gets blown up.
That's right.
My phone gets blown up from Twitter, from ESPN, from Bleacher Report, from CBS Sports, telling me that James Harden has officially been traded to the Clippers. And I'm like, well, this sucks. I saw nothing out of that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say right now, this team has to, and I mean this in the most genuine, this team has to make the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, yeah. At least.
They have to. If they don't, this is a bust.
Yep.
It's a bust. This is the end of everyone's career on that starting lineup. This is the end of Ty Lue's career. This is the end. This is the end of that entire team. They're gonna blow it up again. They're gonna wish to redraft Blake Griffin. It's gonna be it is awful.
Honestly. So the Knicks played the Clippers and they beat them. It was Harden's first game. Very early, it was Harden's first game. They still need to kind of gel. I don't think the team is that good.
No, then they played the Nets and they lost the Nets. This team, they're bad.
They're not very good.
They're outside of Kawhi. This team sucks.
Yeah, and Kawhi, I'm not confident he'll stay healthy.
No, Kawhi can't stay healthy either. So, I mean, what the fuck, man? Really, that's the best way to describe what the fuck. Why do people decide to build up all of these teams that they consider to be super teams and fall apart? Like, Miami's not a super team. They went to a finals twice.
Yeah.
And they're not a super team. I'm not looking at the missing piece of a super team being PJ Tucker in the corner and in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at Bruce Brown on the Nuggets and calling that a super team.
No.
Because it's not. Most of that team was built on the Nuggets. Most of that team was built on the Heat.
Yeah.
And they made finals, and one of them had to win because that's just how it works. A lot of these playoff teams were built, not necessarily bought. And if they were bought and made it to the playoffs, they're not going far.
Nope.
Look at the Mavericks. The Mavericks are 6-2, and most of their team is built.
Yeah, outside of Kyrie.
Outside of Kyrie and Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
Luka, now you got this kid Derek Lively the second, who's looking so fucking good, and I would trade him for Duncan Robinson any day of the week. I'm waiting for that day where they're like, Derek, you've been traded to the Heat. Duncan, you've been traded to the Mavericks. But I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know why the Clippers were so sold on getting him.
Also, the Clippers, also a bunch of fucking idiots, though, too. They overvalued Terrence Mann so much.
They really did.
they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you James Harden, and what we want is Terrence Mann in a first. And like, no, we don't want we don't want to give Terrence Mann. The Sixers overvalued Furkan Korkmaz. They wanted him. They wanted Furkan Korkmaz, and they said, and the Sixers said no. How?
Yeah,
PJ Tucker's now on the Clippers.
That's right, he was in the trade too. That team is so old.
Dude, it's like the 2010 Nets all over again.
Oh, with Garnett Pierce. Oh god.
Wash Garnett, washed Pierce, and you had ISO Joe, and
ISO Joe.
I loved ISO Joe.
He was very good.
He was very good. The problem is the rest of the team was not.
The rest of the team was not. Yeah, it was not good.
The rest of the team was not very good.
But that's so old.
I mean, I might as well call this team Shady Oaks. Because in the movie Up, Shady Oaks is the name of the retirement home.
Oh my god! I hit my head on the wall.
That's why it's because they're old as hell, and they're all washed. I mean, it's
Harden doesn't have much left. Kawhi can't stay healthy.
I guarantee you, I guarantee you, at the end of the game, all 5 of those guys, Kawhi, Paul George, Harden, Westbrook, and Tucker, they all leave. They all sit in the backyard of one of their multi-million-dollar mansions. They sit in front of a campfire with some Adirondack chairs and a cooler of beer, and they talk about how it was back in the day. Back in the back in the day, there was no flopping. There was no flopping. It's called selling the contact. It's like fucking.
Also, like, when are we gonna realize that this team that the Clippers built, it's a failure? To me, it's already a failure. Like, it's not gonna work. They put Kawhi and Paul George together. It doesn't work for whatever reason. Kawhi can't stay healthy. Paul George can't stay healthy. Paul George doesn't really step up in the playoffs. It doesn't work. And then you throw Russell Westbrook in there, and now Harden and Westbrook. I know people say they go way back. Like, they've been playing together long enough. It doesn't work with these guys. Individually, they may all be Hall of Fame caliber players. Harden probably will get to the Hall of Fame. Westbrook probably will as well.
Paul George, I don't think will.
Paul George, probably not. I would say no.
Kawhi will.
Kawhi will get in. He would have been probably top 10 all time if he stayed healthy. But
if he stays healthy, he's a Hall of Fame for sure.
He's first ballot.
I think he gets in anyway just because of his success.
Yeah. Like, you got arguably 3 future Hall of Famers on this basketball team. And to me, they are staring another first-round exit in the face. It's not going to work. To me, if they don't get to at least the conference finals, like you said, I totally agree with you. I think you blow the thing up. But at that point, what do? You trade all your depth for James Harden. Like, who is coming off the bench? Who? Is Norman Powell a starter, or does he come off the bench?
I do like Bones Highland.
Him, yeah. I do like him. Yeah, I do like Bones Highland a lot.
But that's about it.
Yeah, like
I love Bones Highland, but that's as far as it goes.
Like this.
Like, you don't have Reggie Jackson anymore.
Nope. Yep.
You don't have Mr. Reginald. You don't have Nick Batum.
Nick Batum. He went the other way.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, like, if this team doesn't yeah, if they get to the conference finals, okay, maybe you can make some adjustments. But like if they're losing the first or second round, like at that point, you got the ownership there and the management have to say, all right, this experiment failed, and go in a new direction.
And it's one of those things to where you can't say that they don't have anything to prove because 3 out of those 4 guys actually do. Harden, Westbrook, and Paul George.
Yeah.
I think all of them would have solidified their career, especially Harden, especially Westbrook. I think those guys would have been easily first ballot Hall of Famers if they won a championship.
Oh, if they had a championship, there would be no question about it.
No question. Not at all. But they haven't, especially those 2. And that's where the real issue lies.
Yeah.
So, like Kawhi can retire now, and outside of not having an MVP, he really has nothing to prove.
Yeah. He's won Finals MVP on 2 teams.
He's won Finals MVP on 2 teams.
We also have that run in Toronto.
Yeah, in Toronto, one of the best ever. So I think they're fucked. I think it's over.
Yeah,
GG's. Good luck in the lottery. Tank for whoever the hell's coming out. Bronny. Yeah.
Tank for Bronny.
You got LeBron James, and then you'll have a bunch of old ass guys.
Oh God.
You'll
LeBron.
Your youngest player.
And LeBron.
Your youngest starter's gonna be 34. And it's gonna be like Kawhi, and then you're gonna have LeBron who's 40.
They had 40-year-old LeBron. That's the funniest.
And you'll have Bronny coming off the bench. It's gonna be an absolute shit show. But I think that's all we got, right?
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening. We're going to try to do a show as many Fridays as we can, probably starting like more in the winter time because this semester is almost over.
Yep.
But thank you guys for listening and tune in next time.
Bye.